Hello there and welcome back to the HTPZ YouTube channel. Today we're doing my Premier League predictions for the 2-3/2-4 season. Last season I only got one prediction right and that was City to win the league. But in all fairness to me, loads of my predictions were close. It's just every team seemed to finish one spot higher or one spot lower. Apart from Chelsea, we finished many spots lower. Anyway, we're going to get straight into it. First up, we have 20th place, of course, the bottom of the league, going down into the relegation, down to the Championship. I have gone with Luton Town. A bit of a surprising one, maybe, to most people, because a lot of people seem to think Luton will be staying up. And personally, I just don't see it happening. I feel like the Premier League this season is the most competitive it's going to be. Or it has been in a long time. And I just can't see Luton surviving. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, I probably am wrong. But I have gone with Luton in 20th. Next, in 19th, another team to get relegated. I have gone with Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth did really well last season. I think they were phenomenal to stay up. That was their goal. And they did it before the season was even over. They'd secured safety early on. So, I'm all for being wrong. And I'll probably be wrong about Bournemouth. But I know they've lost a few players. And I don't think they've made any big signings, at least to my knowledge. They haven't really brought anyone too crazy in. So, yeah, that's why I have put Bournemouth down in 19th. I think they are going to go down. But look, hopefully the Cherries stay up. We'll have to wait and see. Next up, with 18th, I have gone with Sheffield United. Sheffield United are one of those teams that always get promoted, get relegated, get promoted, get relegated. Obviously, back in the day, absolutely massive club. Now, not so much. So yeah, I have got them to go down. I do think they'll put up a fight though, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed up, but I've got them to go down. They're going down. Next up, with 17th, I have gone with Burnley. Obviously, Vincent Kompany now in charge of Burnley. He's done a phenomenal job there last season, won the championship with ease, and he's got a good squad around him, and I could see Burnley doing well this season in terms of for them staying up. I feel like that is the aim of the game for Vincent Kompany's Burnley team, and I think they will be successful there. I think they will stay up, but I think it'll be close. I don't think it's going to be they stay up by a landslide. It's going to be close, but they will survive relegation. Next up in 16th, yes, 16th, God, I can't England. 16th, I have gone with Everton. Now, I don't think this is very surprising. Some of you might be shocked by that, but Everton are one of those teams that they've spent so much money, but they're not very good. It's the same thing we always see from Everton. And no offense to Sean Dyche. Don't get me wrong. I love Sean Dyche. Absolute brilliant manager. All right. But he's one of those managers that you sort of expect him to just survive. You don't really expect him to do anything too crazy. So that's why I've gone with Everton in 16th. I will think that they'll stay up. If they do go down, their club is screwed. But yeah, 16th. I think that's good enough for Everton. Although realistically, they should be aiming way higher. We'll have to wait and see. In 15th, I have gone with Nottingham Forest. Now, Nottingham Forest have had a really good season last season. I mean, some big signings as well. And they brought in some more players. I know Niakate's come in. So they look good, I think, Forest. And I think they will survive relegation quite comfortably. Got them finishing in 15th. Next up, with 14th, we have gone Wolverhampton in 13th. Well, Wolverhampton are in 13th. I don't know why they've come up next. But yeah, I've got Wolves to finish 13th. I feel like, Wolves... I know a few Wolves fans that are scared they're going to get relegated. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll stay up. They need to make a few signings, but they still yet to do that. Fulham in 14th. Fulham could get relegated, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham do get relegated, because I might have been a bit generous here and put them way too high. But Fulham was one of those teams where it's really hard to predict what's going to happen with them. Obviously, they're losing Mitrovic, potentially losing Willian. They've kept Polinia, which is mind-blowing to me. They've got Mbabu back, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with Fulham. But they've lost some big signings. They really need Vinicius to shine this season to keep them up, I think. But I've got them to survive, and I actually got them to finish fairly high up in the table for Fulham standards. So yeah, Fulham in 14th with 12th. No, it's gone to 11th. I don't know why it's cutting them out. That's really weird. But 11th, Brentford. Yeah, Brentford, I feel like mid-table team. I don't really need to say much more. Is this 12th? 12th. Crystal Palace. Yeah, Crystal Palace, again, mid-table team. I've not really got much to say about Crystal Palace. Obviously, they go through managers as much as Chelsea do. I don't know if Roy Hodgson's staying on for the season or if they've signed a different manager, but if they keep Roy, I could see them finishing 12th quite comfortably. Next up, 10th, I've gone with West Ham. Now, maybe that's a bit crazy for West Ham. You got to bear in mind they actually finished lower the season just gone. They've lost Declan Rice, their main man. They have brought in Alvarez, which is a great signing, really good CDM. Huge loss there for Ajax. But I just don't see West Ham being able to perform well in Europe, e.g. winning the Europa League and finishing in the top 6, especially with how competitive the top half of the table is. So I have got them finishing 10th, which that's good enough for West Ham. And if they win the Europa League, that's a perfect season. Next up, we've got 9th place, where I've gone with Brighton. A bit low, maybe. Brighton have a hell of a team, but they are losing quite a few of their players, and they are probably bound to lose a few more. But they brought in João Pedro, absolute bowler. Got in my FBL, of course. They brought in, I can't even remember who else they brought in. But they're losing Casado, which obviously a big one. They might keep him. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Brighton, again, it's European football. I just don't see them being able to compete as well with some of the other clubs here while having to deal with the Europa League at the same time. Next up, with 8, I've gone with Aston Villa, which, again, maybe a bit low for them, maybe a bit high for them. They've also got Europe League, but it's conference. And they've brought in some big signings. Yuri Tielemans, Pau Torres, Moussa Diaby. Some big signings there for Aston Villa. And Emery is doing wonders at the club. So I do feel like 8th is a good place to finish them. Maybe if they go to win the Conference League as well, that'd be a really good season for Aston Villa. Next up in 7th, I've gone with Tottenham Hotspur. Look, Spurs have no European football. All right, so maybe 7th is a bit low, but it really depends on Harry Kane. If Harry Kane is staying, I could see Tottenham finishing higher. If he's leaving, I think 7th's fair enough. Richarlison is there, but obviously Richarlison isn't on the same level as Kane. Kane is clear by a mile. So it is a really interesting to see what happens with Tottenham, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I've gone with them in 7th. 6th, I've gone with Newcastle United. Again, maybe a bit low for Newcastle, but I don't feel like they've made any big major signings. The only big ones I can think of, Tonali, yeah, good signing there. And then Tino Livramento, who is so injury prone. He'd fit perfectly in the Chelsea squad. They've also lost their Saint, as in Saint Maximin. So a bit of an L there for Newcastle to lose him. But, they've got to do Champions League football and then compete in the Premier League. I just don't think they have the squad depth to do it, personally. So I've put them in 6th, maybe a bit harsh, considering I've put Chelsea in 5th. Come on, you Blues. Look, 5th, all right, we've got no European football. We've got Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku. We're potentially getting Moises Caicedo, Tyler Adams. We've got squad depth for days. Ben Chilwell and Reece James are back. And if they stay fully fit for the season, that is perfection. Obviously, Sanchez coming in as goal as well. Brilliant goalkeeper for Brighton. So, 5th for Chelsea. I don't feel like I'm being too cocky there. 5th's good for us. And if we do get 5th, we will get Champions League football, because that weird rule they've added in. So yeah, I would take 5th because it means we're getting Champions League football. And I think that'd be a good season for us. Maybe if we win the FA Cup or Carabao Cup as well, that'd be perfect. But at bare minimum, I think Pochettino has to finish 5th at bare minimum. So I have put us there. Next up in 4th, I've gone with Liverpool. I think the signings they've made have been class. Potentially more signings on the way. McAllister and Sloss-Barley look great. Maybe Darwin Núñez is going to turn up this season and cook. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Liverpool in 4th. Obviously, they will lose their opening game against Chelsea, which I'll be live for on Chelsea Fan TV. But yeah, 4th. Need I say more? 3rd, Manchester United. I have to wait and see what will happen with them. Mason Mount was an awful signing for them. So thank you for taking them off our hands because he's trash. But yeah, Manchester United in 3rd. They've been a bit dodgy this pre-season. Been a bit dodgy. I know they've won a few games here and there, but they went on a bit of a losing streak. So obviously pre-season doesn't mean everything. It's just pre-season. But you want to go in with confidence. I feel like they will beat Wolves on the opening game though. Next up with 2nd, I've gone with the Gunners again. Their squad depth is absolutely ridiculous, and their squad value, I think, is the biggest value in the world of football. Like, they have the most valuable squad out there. And I just don't see Arteta allowing them to finish any lower than the top 4. Otherwise he'll get sacked, let's be real. So yeah, I've gone with second for Gunners. In an ideal world, they finish 20th and get relegated, but we can't get what we want, so it is what it is. And at first, Man City, they're boring. They win it every time. Anyway, guys, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did watch this point, you are an absolute legend. I do appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. Stay safe, stay cracking. Fair enough, and au revoir.